Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq. Joining us is Jack Miller, head of trading at Baird, to discuss the impact of increased retail investor participation. Jack, it's great to see you as always. Welcome back to Trade Talks.
Thanks, Jill. Great to see you again, too.
All right. And Jack, we talked about a new regulatory agenda and events in early 2021, including the meme stock phenomenon and how it affected markets earlier in the year. How have these trends continued to play out?
Yeah, so as we moved into the summer months and now into the fall, really saw volumes and volatility continue to normalize from the height of the pandemic activity. But one of the things that's really stuck around is an elevated level of off-exchange trading. So recently seeing that hovering in the 43, 44% range versus maybe 36, 37% range pre-pandemic. So as we know, we've got a de facto parallel market structure for retail activity that occurs largely off-exchange. So what this says to me is that we are continuing to see an elevated level of retail activity in the market. And while not at the level that we saw in January or February, some of these new entrants into the market are likely here to stay. So with that extraordinary activity in the early part of the year, really dredged up or maybe reignited some of the conversations that, while never completely gone, had become a little bit less top of mind. So things like payment for order flow, looking at the fee and rebate structure, and this is in addition to round lot reform, market data reform, and some of the other areas that had a bit more momentum as we were coming into the year. So interesting, though, I think despite this kind of call to action coming out of Q1, now we're kind of in that devil's in the details phase where the solution, and frankly, even identifying the specific problem that we're trying to solve, is a little bit less obvious. So in the meantime, I think we'll continue to see market-based innovations to try to address these issues, compete for that order flow, and ultimately increase the interaction and interactability with other market participants.
And beyond contributing to volume, what are some of the other ways that increased retail participation in the marketplace could affect markets overall?
Yes, I think one of the interesting things to look out for is, with new populations of individual investors engaging with the marketplace, how they're used to trading on an app or on their phones and, used to trading wherever or whenever they want. So I can trade cryptocurrencies in the middle of the night, but equities activity is largely, in that 9:30 to 4 o'clock trading day. So it's going to be interesting to see how equities as an asset class continues to evolve as access to new investors expands and how they want to engage. Ironically, on the institutional side of the house, it's almost the opposite drive. And so one of the key challenges that we hear from clients is just how hard it is to find liquidity. In addition to fragmentation, the longer the trading day, the more spread out that liquidity becomes. So we're continuing to see this barbelling of liquidity through the day, with more activity concentrating on the open and especially the close. So increasingly, our focus is on how to navigate those crucial last couple minutes of the trading day.
And the new issuance calendar has been very robust over the past year. We're very well aware of that at Nasdaq. How do you see this affecting your clients?
Yeah, well, from the trading standpoint, certainly we've seen a ton more activity street-wide on the capital markets side of the house, whether it's traditional IPOs, direct listings, SPACs. We spent a lot of time thinking about the plumbing of the marketplace, but that is all moot if there are not enough stocks to trade. So other than the explosion of ETFs and other exchange-traded products over the last number of years, we've kind of seen this decline in the number of listings over time, and it's great to see that trend strongly in reverse right now, for the health of our markets overall.
All right, great to catch up with you, Jack. Thanks for joining us on Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, global markets reporter at Nasdaq.
Thanks so much.